3 Russian Navy ships and a nuclear-powered submarine will arrive at the Port of Havana for an official visit next week, the Cuban Armed Forces announced on Thursday. This visit, which was initially disclosed by US officials on Wednesday, will include military exercises. The Cuban Revolutionary Armed Forces stated that the Russian missile frigate Admiral Gorshkov, the nuclear sub Kazan, the oil tanker Pashin, and the salvage tug Nikolai Chiker will arrive on June 12 and remain for a week. They emphasized that the visit reflects the friendly relations between the two countries, adheres to international law, and does not pose a regional security threat, since none of the ships are carrying nuclear weapons. A US official revealed to McClatchy and the Miami Herald that the exercises will feature increased naval and air activity near the United States, involving Russian aircraft and combat vessels. This will be the first coordinated air and sea exercise by Russia in the Western Hemisphere in 5 years. While we are disappointed that Cuba has likely agreed to host visiting Russian ships, we are not surprised, the official commented, noting that the nuclear-powered submarine is assessed not to be carrying nuclear weapons and poses no direct threat to US national security. US officials believe Cuba's approval of the Russian port call is partly a response to a US nuclear submarine docking at Guantanamo Bay Naval Base last year, which angered the Cubans. The official remarked on Russia's long history of Cuban port calls, describing these as routine naval visits intensified by US support for Ukraine and NATO exercises. The Russian ships are part of the Northern Fleet, which departed on May 17th for a long voyage to demonstrate the Russian flag and ensure naval presence in important areas of the distant oceanic zone, according to the Russian news agency TASS. The Admiral Gorshkov frigate recently conducted an artillery exercise in the Atlantic Ocean, while the Kazan submarine, commissioned in 2021, is equipped with long-range precision missiles. The Cuban government highlighted cultural activities in its statement, noting that the Russian sailors will engage in courtesy visits and tours of historical and cultural sites. Russian submarines have been visiting Cuban ports since 1969, with spy ships appearing unannounced at the Port of Havana on several occasions, including before Russia's invasion of Crimea in 2014 and US-Cuba talks in 2015. The Russian Navy's training ship Perekop also visited Havana in July last year.